Welcome to New Day Cleveland. I'm David Moss and we're on the road again. Let's just stop and take a deep breath. Beautiful, clean air. We're on the Chesapeake Bay, folks. That's right, we flew into Baltimore, got a rental car, drove for a little more than an hour, and we are on the west side of Chesapeake Bay, and we're at a little town called North Beach, and I sort of know my way around, but I've got help today. I got my passport, and I've got Connie. Check out Connie's shirt here. It says Maryland, right?
That's it, from the Maryland Office of Tourism.
Okay, so we know all about that now. We know where you're from.
Yes.
And why should we come here? Why should we tour here on this side of the Chesapeake Bay?
The Chesapeake Bay is an integral part of Maryland's history and heritage. Captain John Smith was one of the first that came up the bay, discovered a wonderful place to live, and to what we do now is recreate on the Chesapeake Bay.
I see some beautiful beaches here, nice little private beaches, a quiet, sleepy little town. But these sleepy little towns can get pretty exciting once in a while on these big events, huh?
For the events, sure.
Yeah.
People come down from Baltimore, Washington. We've got, you know, a good amount of visitors from that area, and of course
close.
Ohio.
Yeah, oh, we love that.
Yes.
Somebody told me like on Friday here, they have so many people come down for the farmers market that it's standing room only everywhere.
Correct. Farmers market, they've got a classic car drive-in that they'll do, and really creating some excitement in the town. But and this is what we would call one of our quintessential bay towns.
Quintessential.
I know, isn't that a great word?
I love it.
The Great Chesapeake Bay Loop is something that our office has put together. So each of the towns, the similarity is that they're on the Chesapeake Bay, but they each have their own personalities, as you'll come to find as you visit Chesapeake Beach, Solomon's, and of course here in North Beach.
I like the idea too that not only can you go to restaurants and have food, but you can go out and fish for it yourself.
Yes,
you can go out crabbing, you can go out fishing, and they have great fishing here in Chesapeake Bay.
Absolutely. In fact, in Chesapeake Beach, you've got one of the largest charter boat captain right there, right on the pier. You can pick whoever you're going with, and then go out and catch a big rockfish.
Rockfish, that's a big fish here.
Yes, it is. It's straight bass to a lot of other people. It is our state fish, and we call it rockfish, and it is good eating.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. I'm coming to this area now, I'm checking it out, taking a lot of tips from you, but right now I'm going to take a tip from someone else. I like crab a lot.
Yes.
So I'm going to Abner's. What do you think?
Abner's is perfect.
The crabs have landed, and Bobby, I'm so happy to see you. We're kicking off the show here at Abner's Crab House, and how long have you guys been doing this?
Since 1966.
1966. So, Bobby Abner. I was reading about Bobby Abner, and it said 50 years ago, going out catching crabs, 11 years old. That couldn't be you.
No, not me. That was my father.
That was your father.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about getting these crabs, and how do you eat these rascals?
Well, there's a bunch of different ways to do it. I do it a little bit different than anybody else.
Well, it has to be the right way then.
That's right.
Because Abner's is the place, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what do we do? I say we got a hammer. What's that for?
All right. Well, that's just for your knife, really. Let's take you have a male.
There's a difference between males. No, there's a difference between males and females.
Right, yeah.
Which ones are better, males or females?
Males are most popular. I prefer females.
Yeah?
Yeah, the females are a little sweeter. Most people like males.
This conversation could go south in a hurry, right?
It could, yeah.
That's right. Okay, and I noticed the shirts on some of your the people that serve here. The back of their shirts have a message on them.
Oh yeah, it's a place where it's okay to have crabs.
There you go. So here we are. So I love this whole idea. So we got the crab out here. So what's next?
All right. So first I take the claws off.
Take the claws off.
Just kind of. Sometimes you get lucky and pull some meat off when you get them.
When did you guys catch these?
These were caught yesterday, and these were cooked this morning.
Oh boy. Do I use this? What do I use this for?
Get ready to do that right now. Just take the knife, go across like this.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it a little, just crack it a little bit. That's good enough. Now twist it so it cracks the shell. There you go.
Look at that. Oh, here's Natalie. This is Natalie. This is the other Natalie. Just to prove that all Natalies are beautiful. There you go. How about that?
Thank you.
Okay, I'll pour this while you show me the next move.
All right. So you got this down. Just go ahead and crack this one open.
Did you go out fishing for these two when you were a kid?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been at it since I was about 12 years old. Started out grading the crabs, separating the sizes, separating the males and females, and then got promoted to shaker. Shake the crab pot.
What's a shaker? What's that?
You grab the crab pot. You gotta dump the bait out. You gotta shake the crabs out, and then throw it back over. Make sure you're all nice and straight row.
Is this anything like Deadliest Catch?
Very similar, much smaller scale.
What do you do with something like that? It looks like a football.
Yeah, you don't want to throw that one.
No, you want to keep it, right?
All right.
Okay, use a knife again or no?
Not yet.
Not yet?
See this, the apron right here?
Yeah.
Pull that apron off.
How'd you get under it? On the front?
Yeah, right here.
On the point?
Yep.
You have to have
Yeah, there you go. You can use a knife now. There you go.
I like the knife too. It's got the phone number on Abner's 410-257-3689.
There you go.
I love that. I can find you
In case
again.
people steal it, they know how to return it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You don't take this to the airport.
Oh, no, don't want to do that.
Because Natalie's telling me they're souvenirs too. I said, no, not for me. Okay, I got the apron off. I see I have time to drink a beer.
One
Okay.
thumb there.
One
One
thumb.
thumb there. Pops right open.
Look at you. Oh,
Just like that. Amen
Dude.
to it. Yeah.
that was pretty good.
Some people like the innards, some people don't.
The innards. That's sort of the yellowy mustardy looking stuff. How about you? Do you like that?
I don't go for it, but
No.
if it's on my fingers, you know,
Yeah.
there you go. Get a little bit off.
I want to take a cue from you and say like once in a while. I saw an article about you guys in Newsweek, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 2001, I believe.
You guys are famous.
Yeah.
Do I break this now?
Yeah. Go ahead and break this in half.
Oh, yeah. Okay. How do I look? Like I'm okay?
You're right on point.
So how long does it take when you sit down at Abner's on the west shore of Chesapeake Bay to eat all these?
Well, with your skill level, probably all day.
Will you hang with me for a short while? You show me
Sure.
how to finish these up.
Sure.
Man, thank you very much.
No problem.
Abner's in Maryland, man. We're on the west shore of the Chesapeake, and it's unbelievable. Chesapeake Beach. Thank you,
Sure.
man.
You're welcome.
And we just keep having more and more fun here in the Chesapeake Bay area. We are in Calvert Cliffs State Park, right?
Yes, sir.
And this is Bo Sanders. He's a seasonal ranger out here, and we just journeyed into an area that has been here how many years, and what's going on here?
So this area where we're standing is roughly 15 to 20 million years old. It goes all the way back to the Miocene era. And this used to be the bottom of the ocean. So where we're standing, a bunch of fish were swimming around.
That's right, and we see the cliffs back there because this is called Cliff State Park.
Yep.
And the cliffs sort of signify that that was the shoreline, huh?
Kind of, yes. So the cliffs are there because the shoreline receded, and this used to just be a ridge within the ocean, and then the bay slowly wore it down, and now what we have are the cliffs.
So here's the greatest thing about this park, and I thought it was fascinating, is we had a bunch of underwater sea life here, right?
Yes, sir.
So we're walking around and we're finding stuff like this. Like I've got this big rock in my hand. What's this rock?
That rock is a fossilized whale vertebrae. So that was the backbone of a whale that lived 5 to 20 million years ago.
That is incredible, and it is something. It's like a big soup bone.
Yeah.
I don't think you make soup with it though. What do you got in your hand here?
So I have a couple more examples of fossil. I have 3 shark's teeth, a bone, and then this fossilized sand dollar.
Uh-huh.
So there's just a few examples of what you can find here when you come visit the park.
And here's the greatest thing about the park. You come in the park, how many acres is it?
The park is roughly 1,400 acres.
1,400 acres, and this part of it here is not a real large area, but you can come here, and if you find this, or you find any of those things, you could take them home with you.
Yes, sir.
That's like a miracle. You can't do that anywhere. Yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
So how long have you been here?
So I've been at Calvert Cliff State Parks for a little over a year now, but I've been with the actual Maryland Park Service for, I think, a little over 3 years.
So people don't come here to go swimming, really, or they come here to go hunting.
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
On a day like this, they're swimming and hunting, but in the wintertime, majority of hunting.
Hey, so if you're going to hike back in here, because you said it's a lot of acres, it's how long a walk is it to get to here?
So the way to get down here is on the Red Trail. In one way, it's 1.8 miles, but round trip, it's a little over 3.5 miles.
So what are people going to see on the trail?
So they're going to see, at first, they're going to be in the woodlands, where they're going to follow a creek as it goes down, and it's going to turn into a marsh because the beavers have dammed it up. So now it's a really pretty and healthy wetlands. And then you just follow it down, and it's going to turn to a saltwater marsh right past the bottom beaver dam, and then you end up at the bay. What I recommend bringing, one is sunscreen because it's on the beach, and anytime you're outside, you really should be wearing sunscreen. Bug spray, you're outside, there's bugs. It's just part of it. So definitely bring bug spray. Water, it's a 1.8 mile hike, and then you're gonna be on the beach, so you're gonna get thirsty. And a snack.
snack?
Hopefully you're down here for a while, and you're gonna get hungry eventually.
I really got a big kick out of it when we pulled in too. Like it's really a complicated, high efficiency kind of way to take money from the patrons as they pull in the park. There's a little pole with a crack in it, and you put money in it.
Yeah, that'll change very soon. Soon we'll have somebody manning that gatehouse every day of the week.
I see you can't walk in certain areas though because you have to be careful of certain things, right?
Yes, sir. So what we have, it's closed off because there's landslides all the time. It's sandstone, so it's really loose, so they collapse almost daily. So we don't want anybody getting hurt, so we've closed off. You can't go under or above the cliffs.
So this is in Calvert County, Calvert
Cliffs
State Park.
Yes, sir.
Easy to find. What days are you closed?
We are open all year round.
What time do you have to get out of the park?
The park is open from sunrise to sunset, so we recommend heading back from the beach about 45 minutes to an hour early because it gets dark in the woods faster than it does on the beach.
And what happens if you get left behind and stuck in the woods?
I guess we'll have to come find you.
You might end up becoming a fossil, so don't do it. Bo, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, we got a whole lot more great adventure from the Chesapeake Bay area after the break. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. It's our road trip to the Chesapeake Bay area, the West Shore, and Sherrod joins me right now, and she's the captain of this ship, and it's called the Calvert Marine Museum.
Correct.
And Drum Point
Lighthouse.
A lot of words in this show, I'll tell you that, but I tell you, everyone is worth it and fantastic. And we just left a place a little while ago where we saw things that were millions of years old, like fossils and that sort of thing.
Right.
What's this thing over my shoulder?
So, because of the Calvert Cliffs where you were, we collect fossils and interpret paleontology. And this is Megalodon, one of our star attractions, the largest marine predator that ever lived.
I walked around the corner and it just sort of blew my mind. I saw you have like a jawline of some from one of these two, right?
Same, Megalodon, yeah.
It is just, it's overwhelming, it's so big.
Well, I'll tell you, the largest tooth that was ever found, 7 inches. And 1 inch of tooth equals 10 feet of shark.
Whoa.
Gives you an idea.
Could eat an elephant.
At least a cow.
At least a cow. So not getting the idea that this is just all about fossils and stuff. This museum has so many different things.
Right.
And I saw otters around the corner.
I am feeding Chumley and Grace, 2 of our resident otters here at Calvert Marine Museum.
And that was a circus going on in there.
It was. Well, we start with prehistory and we move into natural history. So we show life in the Patuxent River and Chesapeake Bay. We have amphibians and mammals, the otters. We have all kinds of fish, seahorses, stinging nettles, all kinds of things. And then we move into maritime history. So we tell 3 different stories of the Chesapeake Bay.
So much discovery here.
Yes, and we try to make it hands-on and exciting and something for all ages. So sometimes the guys like the engines and the ladies go up and love the lighthouses and the kids love the fish. So yeah, there's a lot.
And who doesn't like a boat ride? I see a bunch of boats out there, and and the Drum Point Lighthouse, it's a very unusual, different kind of lighthouse, isn't it?
It's a cottage-style lighthouse. It wasn't here originally. It was out at Drum Point at the mouth, but it was brought here and people actually lived in that lighthouse. At one point there was a family with 5 children. And if you go in the lighthouse, you'll have a hard time imagining that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very unusual lighthouse. The only furnished cottage-style lighthouse on the bay. There are 3 still in existence.
There's also a lot of nostalgia here for me, I think. You know, I see the workers' boats, the men who go out and get the oysters and the crab and all that sort of thing, but also some of those sleek little great recreational boats that populate the Chesapeake Bay.
And it's all part of the story of how humans have interacted with the bay. I will say, you mentioned our boats, and you're going to be out there looking at those. We have a skipjack, a sailing skipjack, and a bug-eye, both iconic workboats of the Chesapeake Bay.
And speaking of that, I walked through the area too that had a lot to do with the World War II effort. That this area had a lot to do with that too.
That's right. We had the amphibious training base on the Dowell Peninsula, and that was created to train people for amphibious landing. So people who landed on Solomon Island, ironically, who were at D-Day, who were at Guadalajara and all of those big battles, trained right here. And for years, we had people come back who had been at Pearl Harbor and D-Day, and they told their stories, and they started here. So it was, I get goosebumps when I think about it.
Oh, when you come down here, come down to give me the name again.
The Calvert Marine Museum in Solomons, Maryland.
And don't think you've already seen it before, because it's going to be a brand new experience and very, very exciting, I guarantee.
There is always something new.
Here we go, off to another adventure. very excited about this one. It's one of those great discoveries, I think. We found it here in a place called Solomon's, right?
Yes.
And it's called?
Annmarie Sculpture Garden and Art Center.
A lot of words in a row, so I had her do it for me. And I got to tell you, when you come to this place, it is exciting. And I'll tell you why. It's indoors, it's outdoors, it's all around, and we start in the sculpture garden area here. Give me a little rundown on what happens here.
Well, we do a little bit of everything here. We bring together art and nature. We have activities inside and outside, but the idea is to get you connected and engaged to nature, to celebrate creativity in many different forms. We like to say that we embrace creativity from beautiful works of art, like this right behind us by Engman, all the way to fairy houses and small things that children have made.
We're really close to the water here,
Yes,
aren't we?
right down.
So the water has an influence on the exhibits here also.
Oh, yeah, Solomon's definitely does. This whole maritime community, it informs a lot of our activities and programs, exhibits, like you'll see inside in the Ebb and Flow exhibit, a lot of the festivals that we support all the time. Oh, and we love crab cakes.
Who doesn't?
I gotta mention the crab cakes. You can find those in Solomon's.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
So we walk through the gardens, the outdoor portion of this, and we go sort of counterclockwise around it. And how many different pieces do we see? And do they change?
Oh, they do change a bit. Some of the sculpture, the larger pieces, tend to stay longer. I know there's about 35 pieces of sculpture, but hidden in the woods are, I don't know, 60 or 70 small fairy houses, and those change every year. And you'll see those as we go. And they're sort of hidden because the fairies are shy.
So you discover them.
Yeah, yes, of course. You discover them as you go. And let me tell you, all ages like this. I've seen adults giggle about the fairy houses.
Great.
So, yeah.
I walked in the front door and I'm talking about outdoor sculpture gardens, so I'm thinking about that. But the exhibits inside the building, 2 floors of them, are fantastic. So on the first floor, it looks like there's a lot of water influence.
There is. This summer, our 2 exhibits are Ebb and Flow, the power of water, and upstairs it's called Folksy, and it's a folk art exhibit. The exhibits in the Arts Building rotate throughout the year, but our summer is our high season, so we always make sure we have really spectacular exhibits during the summer.
So I'm talking to Stacy when I come in, and one of the most exciting things about all this beautiful art is not only does it change all the time, but if you come here, there's going to be stuff here that you would like to buy. I wish I had, and you know what? There's a price tag on this stuff, and there's price tags you can afford.
There
some
are.
fantastic, beautiful pieces.
Yep.
And it's also exciting to see the children being involved here. Like there's a little section here where I saw a whole bunch of kids. I saw paints, I saw colors, and creating an interest in art also.
That's the art lab. That's a drop-in creative reuse center. We take recycled and repurposed materials and use them as art supplies. And the reason we do that is to raise awareness about about trash and plastic use. You'll find corks and bottle caps and all kinds of weird odds and ends in there, and it's all about educating people about the environment to reduce our waste.
You're talking about an art place, you're talking about sculpture, artists, and you think some people regard it as serious, but there's so much humor in the art.
I'm glad that you noticed that. I hope you saw the triple sheep when you came in, the very colorful piece.
Yeah.
We like to think that we're whimsical. We have
that's a
some
great word.
whimsical art. Hopefully we'll walk past the Fairy Lolly, which is a creative play space. So yeah, there is humor, there is whimsy, and I think that's perfectly at home in an art center.
How do the people who work here not buy something and take something home every week?
Oh, we do. Well, not every week, but we do. Oh, yeah. Well, an Arts Fest is a big arts festival we hold in September, and I buy things every year.
I love going to the places we go, but I recommend, if you get in this part of the country, you definitely have to visit this place. The name of the garden again is?
Annmarie Sculpture Garden and Art Center.
I told you there's a lot of words, that's why she does it.
You could shorten it to Annmarie. Just go, that's easy.
You got it. Hey, when we come back after the break, we have a whole lot more from the Chesapeake Bay area. First of all, I want to introduce Kevin here, and welcome back to New Day Cleveland. It's our road trip to the west side of Chesapeake Bay. And I guess on this side of Chesapeake Bay, if you didn't know where you were going or got foggy or something, you might run into the shore, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So how do you avoid running into the shore?
So you use a light like this one.
A lighthouse?
A lighthouse.
No kidding. So how does this thing work?
Well, early lights were just bonfires. Then they moved to whale oil powered lights. This light dates to 1828, so the first lamps were in 16-inch reflectors running with a fuel that would give them a steady beam, but they had to have multiple lights up there.
What I really found fascinating when I read a little bit about this is the light is an incredible invention just by itself, but the method of making the light turn was pretty intricate too, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. So they had counterweights in the lighthouse. You could see them in the base of our tower. And as they descended, they would turn the mechanism and have the lens rotate.
Okay, so nowadays it's not like that anymore. We've got electricity, it works, and the thing goes around by itself, and it's
Absolutely.
good. But this is still a working lighthouse.
Yes, so you can see the light is still rotating at the top. It flashes every 10 seconds.
I think the greatest thing about this is like a lighthouse enthusiast would come here and see this and hear you tell about it, or whoever's here at the time, thanks to the Calvert Marine Museum. But you can also stay here. What's that about?
So you can rent the duplex here. We rent both sides. Each side sleeps 8. You can rent it for the weekend. You can rent it for the week, all year round. Comes with beach access, so it's a wonderful family trip to stay in a historic place.
So if you have a wedding party or something like that, or a shower group or something like that, you can put 16 people in it. But if there's 8 people and you don't want the other side, you just take one side or the other.
Absolutely.
And I heard it's very private. There's a firewall in it. The young lady told me she tested the noise, and it's perfectly private, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so how do I go about renting this?
You would contact Veronica Jordan at the Calvert Marine Museum.
How would you describe the way it's furnished and the type of living you'd have here while you were saving?
Coastal beach furniture,
Yeah.
that kind of vibe.
I see some coastal beach furniture out here a little bit. Nice little grounds around us. I noticed a little building with a big bell on it. Now, I know it's not a school.
No, it looks like a schoolhouse. That is the original fog bell system. So they actually rang it by hand.
So
in
if
the
you
early
couldn't see
days.
because it was too foggy.
You would have to use a sound signal to warn people away from the dangerous shoal.
Okay, so they allow you to know how much it costs to rent this thing for a couple days? Do you know anything like that?
I am not sure about the
I knew
figures,
it.
but Veronica has all that information.
There's plenty of people who can help you out with that. So it's a lovely place here, and I think it's really nice also because I look at the beach here, there's nobody on the beach here. What's that about?
So this is a private beach. We have the community of Cove Point that are here, and as a perk of renting the lighthouse, you get access to this very quiet beach.
So come on
Loaded
out.
with fossils too.
Oh, that's right. Like the shark teeth and all that kind of stuff. huh?
Absolutely.
So do you ever find anything like that?
I find them all the time.
Yeah, so if you go down there, the great thing about that is what? You can take them home.
Absolutely. They're yours.
They're yours to keep. Wonderful time out here. This is certainly a new way to spend a vacation, to rent the lighthouse and just hang out on the beach here at Chesapeake Bay, the west side. Fantastic place. And what town are we in right now?
We are in Lusby,
There you have it.
Lusby, Maryland.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Our road trip continues after the break. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. It's our road trip to the Chesapeake Bay area, and I'm here with Mike Benton, who is the mayor of North Beach. But you used to be one of the kids of North Beach.
Absolutely.
You grew up here, right?
Yes, I did.
So how have things changed here at North Beach?
As a kid, you think and you remember certain things in life, running around, having fun. And as I got older, I found out that with the changes that we're seeing, the improvements, when I say improvements, it's just that we're changing as an economy. We're no longer just a cottage town. We're a year-round town. So there's a lot of great things going on right now.
It's really exciting too to visit the Chesapeake Bay area, because if you say you've been in the Chesapeake Bay area, you don't know where you've been, because it's like thousands of miles practically, isn't
Massive.
it? If you measure all the inlines and
Yep.
the coastlines and all that sort of thing. So there's the west over there, and this is the east coast of it.
Yes.
When you come to the beach, you have to pay a couple bucks to be on the beach, right?
Yes.
And what drives that? What makes that way?
Well, to maintain our beaches, the boardwalk, we have over 100,000 people that visit our town every year. And to be able to keep it the way it looks every day that people have come to expect, there's a cost to that.
Yeah.
There's an investment. And we look at it as an investment from our residents, but also our guests. Our tourists are not tourists, they're our guests. We want them to come, enjoy, but want to come back and tell their friends to come back. So you got to maintain it, and that's just not, it's not free.
Somebody told me this place is for the birds too.
Yeah, we do. Right behind us, we have an osprey's nest. So we do have ospreys. We have multiple different birds. We're a great place to bird watch too. We have some parks up the street here that you can go to and bird watch. So we do have a lot of birds, seagulls and everything.
So when people come down here, do they stay at hotels, or do they rent houses or cottages, or how does that work?
All of the above. There's some hotels in our neighboring town, but we also have a lot of VRBOs. So individuals can get 1 day, 1 week, 1 month rentals. Right behind us is a very large VRBO. So they have many options to stay local.
I love the pier too. The pier has some very special benches out here, right?
Absolutely. All dedicated to loved ones individuals were able to purchase them and put plaques of their loved ones on here.
How is the pier different now than when you were a kid out here?
Well, a little bit before my time, we used to have a restaurant at the end called the Reef. So it's morphed into some other areas. We do allow fishing at the end of the pier, at the lower level fishing pier. So it's changed a little bit over the time.
So do you guys have a place you collect some of the old memorabilia, like a museum or something?
We do, and hopefully you can get there. It's right off of Dayton Avenue. It's called Bayside History Museum. And I would say it's one of the best museums you will go to and see.
Oh, people like to eat on this show. They watch this show, you know? So tell us about some of the food that's available in this part of the world.
Well, we do have seafood.
I bet you do.
We do have seafood. You know, we have multiple restaurants throughout our town that offers a wide variety, from seafood to sandwiches to soups and all different types of food. We have all walking distance. We're a walkable town. You can park your car and not get back in it the whole day.
What's that meal you guys eat here with no knife and fork and you use a hammer?
Blue crabs.
There you go. I'm sort of interested in some of those. So,
we have that. We can take care of that.
So, Mayor, what do you think? I should take off, jump around, do a little exploring here?
I would just walk around town. You might want to live here.
Okay, I like that idea. Might want to dine here too, so let's go. Well, you know, New Day Cleveland always looking for the best food, the best restaurants in the North Beach. Everyone says hook and vine, and here is Monica. You've had the restaurant about a year, right?
Yeah, we just had our first birthday, May 2nd, so we're in year 2. It's really exciting.
Have somebody jump out of a cake, right?
Oh, I wish. That'd be awesome.
Well, if you're going to jump out of a cake in this town, here on the Chesapeake Bay, you're going to jump out of a crab cake, right?
Yes.
Yes, here we go. So I'm looking at this big, beautiful crab cake here, and it looks more like a baseball than a crab cake, so you guys don't skip around.
Oh, we do not. When anybody thinks of a crab cake, they think there's filler in it. Our filler is more crab meat.
Yeah, there you go.
Crab it up.
Where did you get the recipe for this?
It's actually my husband's recipe, so I've been enjoying it for so many years, and now we're sharing it with everybody else.
So here's the story. Kevin and Monica decided to go in the restaurant business a little over a year ago, and to find success in a year is really something, but I think it has a lot to do with the great looking food. And boy, what a nice staff too, huh?
Oh yes, I mean service kind of separates us from a lot of different places, and the chef alone, I mean my executive chef, I mean look at this.
Yeah, it's just fantastic. So we got this beautiful crab cake with the fries here, and this is something here that I just love. You can't recognize it maybe because you live in Cleveland, but you tell them what it is and how you put it together.
So that's our shrimp and grits, cheesy grits with a spicy sauce and big old shrimp in there.
Yeah, we're even gonna give it a little try. I got a little, look at it right here. Looks really good, the grits, huh?
Well, that's how you know they're good, if they're creamy.
Creamy grits. I like it. Now this thing here, I was looking at the menu. Tell me how many different appetizers you guys have.
We got about 6 to 10 rotating appetizers, but this is our #1 seller among not just our appetizers, but our entrees too.
Mm-hmm. And it is something, okay, guess what it is, folks? Can you guess what that is? Some kind of tempura, right? What kind of tempura?
So this is our lobster tempura bites with veggies. So not only is it the lobster, there's red peppers, green peppers,
there's a red
broccoli.
pepper.
Easiest way to get kids to eat your veggies.
Oh, that's right. And it is fantastic and fabulous. And I saw the chef come out here and he says he couldn't bring out all this beautiful food without bringing out this.
So that's our cream of crab soup. It'll rival even your mama's soup. It is made daily.
Wait,
it's delicious.
that's quite a you're throwing down a challenge there, huh?
I did.
Challenge your mama soup. So
it is a mama's recipe.
Boy, it's great. And you know what? It's got a little bang to it too, huh?
Yeah, so just enough. Well, everything has Old Bay on it. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's got a little spark to it. Now I'm looking here at a couple beautiful drinks. And I was wondering, this drink has a bit of a history, doesn't it?
So yeah, so that's our strawberry rosemary lemonade. When we were coming up with all of the drinks for the bar, my sister-in-law was pregnant and felt really left out. So I came up with a nice 0 proof cocktail with strawberry, our own rosemary syrup. So we muddle the strawberries in there and you got your fresh lemon juice there.
So you're talking about Kevin does all the cooking at your house. Yeah. He's the guy behind a lot of the recipes here.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah. But you really were sort of the inventor of a lot of the drinks here.
Yes, and my background is beverage.
Yeah.
I love fresh ingredients.
I like the way you say beverage.
Yes.
Beverage, it's got a little ring to it. I like that a lot. Well, this one here looks like something you hang around your neck in Hawaii.
Well, that is an edible flower. You can eat it, but it also has a little bit of color to my tropical storm.
Mm-hmm. If you come here and you're going to be here around dinner hour, make sure you call ahead, make sure you can get a seat. You got a beautiful outdoor porch area.
Yes, yes.
And if you see Kevin, he's the big guy.
Yep.
The good-looking husband guy, right?
We'll say that.
And I'm going to... You're a show, aren't you? Yeah, you are. So here, I actually got to offer you your own drink.
Oh.
I'm sorry, it's a zero proof drink.
It's okay. You can spike it.
And I want to take this time to wish you a happy birthday today.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday. Are you old enough to drink that?
Unfortunately,
it's zero
yes.
proof, so we're okay. Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to continue to have a great time on the Chesapeake Bay. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. It's our show from Chesapeake Bay, and I'd like to introduce you to Dawn. And Dawn has me here in the Sunrise Garden, right?
Yes, Sunrise Garden.
So this is a beautiful, lovely place if you want to hang out and have some fun. I notice a lot of people here throughout the day. How did the garden come about?
Our previous mayor, Mark Frazier, it was his vision. We developed this land, and this park was open in 2015.
2015. And I noticed as we walked by the beginning of the park, there's a lot of sculptures here. Like this one is sort of fascinating. The
Yes, she's
mermaid.
Our mistress of the Chesapeake, our mermaid. We have other sculptures in the park that are for sale.
Yeah, this one says NFS, not for sale.
Not
but
for
I noticed
sale.
as I walked around the park, there's a lot of stuff
Yes,
for sale.
yes.
And really unique art. But I think it's really cool, the fish.
The koi, yes. A lot of the koi are donated to us throughout the year. We have a lot in this pond and the one over there. A lot of people come and watch. They take pictures, they feed them.
They must feed them because we come over here and just look at it and they all come over like they want to talk to you, right?
They think we're getting ready to feed them.
So what do people feed them?
Fish food.
Fish food.
Yep.
Looks pretty good. They got to watch out for those osprey that are living out
Right.
there, right?
Right. The osprey come and sometimes they'll pick up the koi and take it back to their nest. We try to.
They're thinning the herd.
Yes, they are. We don't want that to happen.
That is really great. You got the gazebo up there, so I imagine you have something in the gazebo once in a while, huh?
In the gazebo, we have weddings.
Oh.
We have weddings, special events. Some people come here for a shade spot in the summer. Yes.
I like all the flowers too. A lot of flowers that are seasonal here.
Seasonal flowers, yes. We have a lot of Baywise certified plantings here, approved by our master gardeners.
Master gardeners?
Yes, yes.
I like the idea of
master gardeners.
There's another koi pond here. Boy, there's some big ones in there.
The big one's the other over here.
I keep hearing about this thing that happens here Friday night that sounds like it's miraculous and wonderful.
It is. It's our Friday night farmers market. It happens from May through October every year. We have farmers and producers from Calvert County and the nearby areas. We have the classic car cruise in where you see all the classic cars and the art fair. We also have a DJ on the pavilion. Everyone enjoys a little dance.
Yeah, it's sort of a big deal.
Yeah, you can come here and have your dinner, entertainment all in one night.
You know what I really found exciting about this area of North Beach is there's so much going on. I pull up here in the morning, it's such a quiet, like little out of the way, quaint beach.
Yes.
And as you look around and pick around town, you find all these little great things to visit.
There are a lot.
If you don't live here and you're just visiting, you want to walk through the park, check things out, and you might want to bring your checkbook. I saw some beautiful art out there.
Exactly. Yes, we have lots for sale here.
Dawn, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Look who I found. It's Pat Irish Mahoney. He is the mayor of Chesapeake Beach, and it is great to see you.
My pleasure.
Where did Irish come from?
It's a nickname I got when I moved here by a city councilman named Dutch. He looked at me once and said, "You're going to be Irish." So that was my name.
He's going to be Dutch, you're going to be Irish.
That's how I got it. That was 30 years ago.
I'm telling you guys, it's a good thing we met him again because I met him a little bit earlier, and he showed up at a wonderful place called Abner's. Remember Abner's, the crab house, and he brought his own crabbing tools.
I did. I have my own one. I have a nutcracker and my own butter knife.
I just think it's fantastic. Let's tell people a little bit about this. I got to talk to Mayor Mike a little earlier up the beach at the North Beach, and you're almost combined. It's like a brother-sister town.
Yeah, they call us the Twin Beaches.
Yeah. And
we're very similar, and we get along and we share almost everything, including the people. They come here, we come there, we have a great time, and our visitors go everywhere. They come down that road, some go that way, some go here, but they all end up leaving with a good time.
Yeah, and over here I noticed when we were over at Abner's, I saw a lot of boats out there, so a lot of people do some fishing and crabbing over on this side too.
Yeah, well, we have the largest charter boat fleet on the Chesapeake Bay. So people come here to fish every morning.
What kind of fish do they get?
They go for rockfish, they go for perch, they go for bluefish, and sometimes you'll get a drumfish every now and then.
A drumfish, once in a while. I noticed a strange walkway that looked like it went off into a marsh or off into the distance. What was that?
That's one of our boardwalks. That is the railway trail, and that goes all the way back. It follows the old railroad tracks, but it's a nature trail that just takes you way, 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 way back, and you can see all kinds of different birds and otters and snapping turtles that big.
Yeah. So we're on the west side of Chesapeake Bay, and we got the twin beaches here, so to speak.
Right.
And how's this different from like the east side?
Well, the Eastern Shore is really laid back. We're just laid back. You know, we a lot of our folks here still have jobs up in the Washington area, so when they come down on the weekend, it's like living in a resort.
It is. And I want to also tell everyone about my friend Larry, who still works for the fire department. He said, don't worry about standing out here on the rocks on the shore, because he's still got the EMT experience to come in and save us.
He said he'd save you.
Oh, he's not gonna save you. I also told Irish here not to talk to the camera, to talk to me. He says, well, you got to talk to the camera to get the votes.
Yeah.
There you go. But you're not a lifetime politician, are you?
30 years.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was on the city council for 20 years before getting elected for mayor 3 years ago.
Yes. So how's the mayor doing right now?
Mayor's doing great. He just got done eating crabs.
It's a great day out here.
Yeah, with my good friends from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, well, we're going to have some more fun out here for sure. We're
Good.
going to, we're going to explore some more.
Indeed.
Great to see you, Mayor.
My pleasure.
You ever hear of that Wayback Machine? That machine takes you way back in time. Well, I think the Chesapeake Beach Railway Museum is one of those machines that takes us way back in time, and Michael is here to talk about it a little bit. And Chesapeake Beach probably would have never been here or existed without the railroad, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. In the early 1900s, the population of Chesapeake Beach was just under 300. And then they put in the resort and the railway, and on any given day, there would be 5,000 people here.
So whose brainy idea was this?
A fellow named Otto Mears. He was a Russian, and he came to America. And this is really odd, because back when people were saying, go west, young man,
yeah,
he was in the west building railroads, and he thought to come east. And he did. He came east, and this was his vision, and he got it going.
Okay, so I understand that the railroad came from Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. So how many miles long is the railroad to get to Chesapeake Beach?
From Washington, D.C. to Chesapeake Beach is 28 miles. Took about an hour, 15 hour, 20 minutes.
And people will use that trip to come down here to the cooler climate because you're on the Chesapeake Bay. And then he built quite an attraction here, didn't he?
He did. He had almost a mile-long pier that ran parallel to the shore of the bay, and people could go out there. They could swim. On the pier were a ton of amusements, band shell for entertainment, merry-go-round. There was even a bowling alley. There was a roller coaster over top the water, and it was just a fun place to come.
So it was a place for recreation and a getaway for the folks in the big city.
Yes.
What's really great about this place too is you've restored it to a beautiful condition. And it does take you back in time. It is a way back machine in a way. Like, I got a big kick out of seeing the different swimwear that people would wear back then.
Oh yes, yes. And the museum has something for everyone here. Children, men, women. Men, they gravitate towards the machinery, the trains. The women, they love looking at the fashions.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of them that they can touch and feel. And while they look kind of nice, they really weren't that comfortable, because back in the early 1900s, those were made out of wool.
Wool, yeah.
Yes, and if you can imagine a hot summer day wearing a wool bathing suit and then getting out of the salt water, the water evaporating from the suit, leaving the salt.
Oh boy.
In the suit.
A little scratchy.
I got a big exfoliation. It was nice.
There you go. I like that. I got a big kick out of seeing some of the dishes and sort of things that they serve food on the train, because I'm sort of a food guy, and I actually saw receipts for the chef, how much money the chef made, and that sort of thing. How long you been here?
10 years.
10 years. And you love this baby, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. So, you know, in the short time we have here to talk about it, you can't see everything. So if you get a chance to come out here, it's one of the great stops in the Chesapeake Beach area.
It is. And we have people from all over the country coming here. Yeah. And when they walk through that front door, it's like walking from now back to the 1900s.
It's great. Well, I was here. We signed the book New Day Cleveland.
Thank you.
And I hope a bunch of our friends come also. And we're going to have a whole lot more exploring around the Chesapeake Beach area and Chesapeake Bay, West Coast, after the break. Are you ready for some fun? Welcome back to New Day Cleveland, and we are at the Chesapeake Beach Water Park. And this is a place where everyone has a blast no matter how old they are. As a matter of fact, I think we're having an explosion here as we speak. That's a big geyser out there. Well, Marilyn, what was that?
That was a geyser. It goes off about every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I gotta tell you something. It's just fun walking into the place. And when do you guys open?
Our opening is Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day, and we're open on weekends only until the Calvert County children are out of school. We follow the Calvert County school schedule because they work here. They're our employees.
Mm-hmm. So what's the age limit here? Am I too old to come here?
No, you're never too old.
Thank you.
Never too old to have fun at the water park. We have babies here all the way up to elderly.
Yeah, it looks like you have a lot of activities too. It looks like something every single day of the summer.
Every single day that we're here, we have activities. We have character days. We have swim lessons. We give swim lessons. We have night slides on Fridays in July. We do a lot of activities.
It's a great alternative too, because I always tell people this is sort of like out of the crazy zone. Like Ocean City or someplace like that, where the beach is crazy and all kinds of noisy people running around. The beaches are sort of sleepy. You come in here, you get a lot more action, don't you? A little water activity.
We do, and we're right in between two major cities, Baltimore and Washington, D.C. It's amazing how many people will skip other parks and visit us.
How about that? I wonder about getting something to eat around here too. What do I have to do, go across the street?
No, we have a wonderful, wonderful food down there. It's called our Beachcomber Grill.
Mm-hmm.
This year we're featuring some new things. We have ahi tuna wraps. We have ahi tuna tacos. We have a lot of new things this year, but mostly always popular are cheeseburgers, which are cooked on the grill, fresh.
How do you get a pass here? Do you get a day pass, a month pass, a year pass, or how does it work?
We have season passes that are available for people that live in Calvert County and Chesapeake Beach, which is in Calvert County. We have daily passes. Everything's available online. People start buying our passes in January for presents, of course. They make nice gifts.
So if you were to come down here, say you came down and you and your wife and you had a couple kids that were like teenagers or 12 years old or that sort of thing, would this be a good place you could leave them here for the day to have fun while you go off on an adventure?
Yeah, you can leave your children here, but they have to be 13 or over to be left here alone.
So I love the place, Chesapeake Beach Water Park, and it's easy to find. I can see the Chesapeake Bay from here, right?
Yes, you can. And the aerial views that are on our website are beautiful. They really highlight the bay, and you can see how close we actually are.
So we should go to the website too?
Yes, the website has lots of action in it.
It's a good idea too to check their hours, because a little early in the season they're only open on weekends. You get into the meat of the summer when the kids are out of school, like you said, they work here. They'll be open every day of the week. And I gotta tell you something, I read your schedule, there's a lot going on.
There is.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you for coming.
Well, it looks like this is the end of our journey to Chesapeake Bay, the West Shore, and this is Calvert County, North Beach, Chesapeake Beach, and it's been a lot of fun. They call it outside the crazy zone, so you're looking for a nice calm trip, this is the place. We've got some great walking. If you walk, great. If not, still going to be good, easy access to everywhere. We've got the culture, the art, and of course all that wonderful food, seafood, oysters, and as long as I have a hammer and some steamed crabs, I am a happy guy. I'm a happy guy because we had a good time. I hope you had a good time. I'm David Moss, and I'll see you on the next New Day Cleveland. So long.